Signal Soundbytes. I'm Brandon Peña, editor-in-chief of The Signal, and we are back with the first episode of Summer 2018. Woo! That took a minute. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves, so whoever wants to start first.
I guess everyone's pointing at me. Hello, my name's Alyssa Shotwell. I am the online editor of The Signal, and yeah.
Go on.
I'm Emily Wolfe, and I'm the audience engagement coordinator for The Signal.
What's up? I'm Justin Murphy. I'm the managing editor for The Signal.
Hello, I'm Miles Shellshear. I'm a reporter for The Signal.
Hello, my name is Izuh, Ikpeama, and I'm a live reporter for The Signal.
And also the student body president.
Oh, thank you for joining us. This is such an honor to have you.
All right.
2 podcasts in a row. Wow. Well, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and everybody for being on here.
You know, I love my constituents.
There you go. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about President Trump's executive order pertaining to immigration, the United States Space Force, and also a new segment on the podcast called Signal Soundoff. So first up, on June 20th, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to end his administration's zero-tolerance policy regarding immigration. Under the policy, migrant children were separated from their parents who were detained for attempting to enter the U.S. illegally. The order comes after protests from both sides of the aisle, following photos and videos of children being held in what they're considered called tender age shelters. So what are your thoughts on Trump's executive order, and does it come too late?
Yeah. It does come too late, seeing as it's not like retroactive. They're like, no, those 2,000 children that were basically in camps are like, no, you can stay there.
Like a week ago or so, there was a video of him answering to a reporter of somebody saying, like, hey, if this is somebody else's fault, why don't you just do an executive order like you did the first month of your presidency every day? And he said, you can't do that. It has to go through Congress. And like 1 week later, I am signing this. Thank you. Or thank me. Like, no.
I have questions. So, for the executive order, was this Trump's policy that started taking away the kids away from their parents? Like, was this a Trump era policy, or like was this an ongoing thing that was happening that's like resurfacing now that Trump is president?
It's actually his policy. He signed an executive order to take away his executive order about it. So, yeah.
Well,
it's all him.
what did his original executive order do?
Basically, it separated like the kids, because some of the kids were born here, some of them are not born here, and so and instead of just trying to actually figure that out and do decent things, they would just take the kids away, stick them in shelters with air quotes, and send their parents over the border. So that's fine.
I think the biggest thing for me is the fact that we were treating children like zoo animals. Yeah. Which is a completely different topic. We shouldn't be treating animals like they are in the zoo, but we definitely shouldn't be treating humans like animals and caging them for no reason other than the fact that somebody's out to get their parents,
In the executive order, he had said his administration was put, quote, in the position of separating alien families to effectively enforce the law because of Congress's failure to act and court orders. So,
not Congress's failure to act. Democrats fail to act, in the words of President Trump.
Which is odd, because I follow Dianne Feinstein, who's a senator from California. She has been like, hey guys, can I have a single Republican help me sign this thing? I have all 49 Democratic senators and no one helping me on the other side of the aisle. So, looked like they were the only ones trying to solve things.
we got new phones, and we have a completely new sound that goes off now, and it's really interesting. No,
Ignore our live audience that is in the background.
I'm concerned.
Trippy Griffy.
He's concerned. So whenever this story first hit, what were your initial thoughts when you saw some of the photos and videos that came out of these shelters?
Wow, that guy just won a Pulitzer.
Disappointed, but not shocked.
Yep.
Why weren't you shocked?
I mean, because these things happen all the time, but out of sight, out of mind. So like now that it's actually happening and like that it's actually visible, I think right when the vast majority of the public like found out that things were happening, like a week later, an executive order stopped it. So, or allegedly.
That's with like a lot of things. That picture of the kid in the ambulance in Syria.
Yeah.
Like people were ignore. Oh, let's talk about the children now.
Yeah.
Because of one video clip or one photograph.
And my concern is that, these children were separated from their parents and put into these shelters, but now if this executive order is overruling that and they're going to try and put these children back with their parents, but how are they going to find these parents and their families if you've already sent them back to their, to Mexico? So how are you going to place these children back with their families? I mean, it's a completely absurd and just
not thought out process.
Yeah, and so
I saw this metaphor of his executive order is like if a room was kind of on fire and he puts more gasoline and then extinguishes part of it and he wants to be thanked. Like, no, there is going to be more problems. It's not just like I fixed it. Like, not even just, you didn't fix immigration as a whole. You didn't fix this one part. You stopped one facet of like a large strain of issues.
And then there was said that his daughter Ivanka and his wife Melania were really pushing for him to change his mind on this and to get him to do this executive order. And so my thing is that it shouldn't have to take anybody to tell you that this is inhumane. And so the fact that it took so many people and so much outspokenness to get you to change your policy and your mind on this particular situation is beyond me, and that it took so long to get to this point. But, I mean, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. But do you guys have any final thoughts on this topic?
This executive order is only for 20 days. If 20 days passes and they haven't done anything else, then it goes back to the old one, where they do separate their children from the parents. So it's just a 20-day, or 19-day now.
Waiting game.
Yeah.
It was eerily similar to what happened in Germany.
What happened in Germany?
The Holocaust.
Oh, okay. I was just saying it for the people in the back that don't believe the Holocaust happened. There's really people that don't believe the Holocaust happened. Like, imagine living in a...
This comparison, we're talking about photographs. There's a photograph, it's not from the last month, it's from a few months ago, I believe, but of all the rosaries taken away from people detained at the border.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks just like the photographs you see of that the Nazis took of items that belonged to the Jewish people and everyone else that they sent to concentration camps, of like shoes or jewelry, piles on piles of confiscated personal belongings. And like a cross is super powerful. Yeah. Sad.
That's what they used to pray.
But moving on to another thing that President Trump is trying to enforce. On June 18th, President Trump voices support of the creation of a Space Force, which would be a sixth branch of the U.S. military. In remarks to the National Space Council, Trump stated, quote, "I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces." So what are your thoughts on the potential creation of the United States Space Corps?
Hey,
That's
America's gonna dominate space. Whatever.
I'm a little conflicted because it's like, I really like the idea of potentially, because the government has money and the government spends money developing technologies, and I like technology and I like space, and the military has done a lot for research and science and technology. So creating a Space Force, I feel like, is a good way to, fund and further advance space exploration, and like the potential of doing that, I think, is really exciting. I also kind of think that it's obviously like it sounds silly, and like, is it actually going to get created? Like, are they really going to go through with this and create this and make it a thing? Like, I feel like it is kind of like easy to like spin and make it like a funny thing, but I feel like it might be a good thing potentially. Like, it would be interesting or cool. Like, I don't know. I have hope for that, I guess.
A lot of times that technology coming out of space, like the surge right after we went to the moon, like all the technologies that were made in order to try and get into space, kind of are the same way that when people, what is it called? Like when wars happen, there's all this surge in like in the economy and stuff, and I think it's cool, but I think maybe Space Force is too militaristic.
Yeah.
Just put the money into NASA. Like, NASA already exists and would love the money. And our neck of the woods would love if NASA had money, because that means we have money. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
I mean, no one wants to be part of Starfleet more than me.
Yeah.
So part of me is like, at first I was like, oh, that's exciting. I get to be in Starfleet. This is all I've ever wanted. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like your military industrial complex thing.
Yeah.
That Trump is somehow going to make money off of it. And then also, Flint still does not have clean water, guys.
I'm just saying, like,
can we please focus on like Flint for half a second?
we're talking about space for what? When there's things happening that you can like work towards to fix, like are you serious? Like, I'm sorry, but
Not separating
Flint
children.
hasn't had water since 2014, right? It's 2018.
4 years.
That's
But we gotta dominate space, you know?
I mean, there's water on Mars. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe that's it.
Maybe there's a water on Mars.
I love having my priorities straight.
Despite my mixed feelings, if they do a graphic design competition, I'll be submitting into that. Because that would be really cool.
And we'll support you.
For Space Force, it has to make a sixth branch of the military, has to go through Congress. I don't think Congress is going to put the time towards that right now.
Probably not.
For all the reasons we just said.
Dianne Feinstein, could you please get a Republican to sign this? And then I'll sign your Space Force thing.
But would you be surprised if Congress were to pass?
Not at all.
I honestly wouldn't. I would not be.
I'm
for the reasons
disappointed,
I
but not
kinda said.
shocked.
Yeah, like the Congress be doing whatever.
If there's going to be another sect of the military, I think it should be cyber before space, because that's
Yeah, you're right.
that's where it needs to be.
I do think though that a lot of
That's a
the
really good
Department
point.
of Defense and stuff are going in that direction. I think they're focusing a lot on cybersecurity, especially after our elections may or may not have been influenced.
And then even after the elections, there was like parts of power grids and utilities that were
Unsecured and taken down. Yeah.
So Space Corps, but cyber's.
Basically, the Space Corps should be cool as long as it doesn't get like Galactic Federation style kind of a thing. No empire.
All right, so
I mean, realistically,
it just makes me think like, okay, who are we going to enlist for this? Like Buzz Lightyear? I'm not fully comprehending how, because the process to even be an astronaut is already rigorous. So how are you gonna get?
Plus, he doesn't like
Marvin the
science.
Martian coming in.
I would much rather have it through NASA.
NASA?
You have to like respect science to.
I mean, if we're gonna get like, I would be interested. Like, is he gonna try to recruit, Matt Damon, Sandra Bullock, George Clooney? Like, I'm interested to see
Settle
That's
down.
all you have to do is
who he's gonna try to get for this this new branch that he wants to make. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see. But moving on, maybe this is something you guys might want to sound off on, but it's Signal Sound Off time, and it is a new segment of the podcast where the panelists will sound off on anything and everything for 1 to 2 minutes each. So who wants to start? I see a lot of hands raised.
You're on.
Ready?
Miles.
Miles, let's hear it.
So I guess like Beyonce and Jay-Z released a new album this week, and I don't really like listening to them, but you know they both own part of this company Tidal, and it's a streaming platform, and it's their streaming platform. And a lot of people were like mad that they were exclusively streaming their new record on their platform. And it's like, I think it costs around the same as other streaming platforms. It's not that much more expensive. But like the reason that people pay for the platform is so that they can more directly contribute to the artists that they like listening to. So if you like listening to Beyonce and Jay-Z, then you should contribute to their artisthood by contributing to their, you know, their companies and their albums and all that kind of stuff, instead of streaming it on Spotify where they get like 0.001 penny, you know, for every play. And maybe that number's not actually that accurate, but you know, like I saw a lot of people very angry about, you know, like why can't I stream their new album? I have to pay for Tidal. That's so stupid. But like if you really care about an artist and want to listen to their latest work, like then you should pay for it. Their time is worth money. Their work is worth money, and that's just something that I was kind of like angry about this week that I saw on Twitter. It's like,
And if you really don't like Tidal, you can just buy the album.
literally, when it comes out on iTunes or whatever, just
on Google
buy
Play.
it. Yeah, it's
Isn't
on Google
it?
Play. Just buy it.
Is it not on Apple Music?
It is now.
Yeah.
It probably is now.
I
think
swear
they-
that I saw it
But
on
the
Apple
first
Music.
time,
yeah.
when it first came out, people were like, "What do we have to do?"
It was
okay.
exclusive for probably a few days, maybe a week, and
don't
like
think-
people were
I
just.
think it was like for 2 days, and then it was
Yeah.
released.
I don't think Lemonade's on Apple Music yet.
Really?
No, it was.
It is?
Yeah,
It's been
I
on.
bought it.
She's like, I'll be right back.
I
I
bought
checked
it.
for like a year, and I was like, nope. And I was like,
Yeah, like I always encourage people to pay for the art that they like
Yeah.
consume, because it really does help. Like a lot of the people that create things that you enjoy don't make a lot of money just from their work. Even if you're buying their CDs, even if millions of people are buying their CDs, there's a possibility that some record labels ripping them off. Like it happens all the time.
It's true.
Who's up next?
Well, I'll sound off on something that I've sound off on multiple times. So, you know how when you went to driving school, right? And like they let you know that like usually when you're driving in the right lane and you come to a stoplight, that's usually where people turn right on red. So like if you know you're gonna keep driving, chances are you should probably try to switch into a different lane that's not the right turn lane. Just a thought.
I feel like you're directing this at Justin.
Oh no, not at all. But if the shoe fits, wear it.
Trying to call me Cinderella?
But like, please don't block the right turn lane.
This is as nice.
That's how road
as they
rage
get.
starts.
Yeah, I really firmly believe every intersection should have a dedicated lane for each
Like,
direction.
right? Some do, but like some places, there's a house right on that corner, so you know they can't really do that. So you know people are still trying to turn right. So you know, just I'm sure your steering wheel works if you're driving a car. So
Smart.
your turn signal probably works too. So use that and switch into the left lane so that you can continue driving straight. And I can turn right on red. And that's how I see it.
All right.
Speaking of swerving,
Swerve.
Margo,
oh,
people.
Why are we like
best
this?
I've ever heard.
I'm gonna sound
Wait,
off.
the Cardi B just show up?
Yes.
Damn.
So, people swerving out of their lanes and going into other people's messy drama is something I'm not a fan of.
Ooh, let's talk.
But
Still talking about cars.
I don't think
it was a segue, okay?
Sorry.
So,
literally it was the same.
so basically, today, a couple hours ago, President Trump
Oh, God.
threw some Starburst at what was her name?
Angela Merkel.
Angela Merkel,
Who happens to be the
who happens to be like the Prime Minister of Germany or
I
something,
don't know, call it Chancellor.
or
President.
Chancellor.
Chancellor,
She's
yeah.
like,
she's like
we're looking it up. I'll give you her title in a second.
It's
Chancellor.
Chancellor
Either way,
Merkel.
she's the Chancellor of Germany. And he threw some Starburst at her and was like, don't say I've never given you anything. Like, stay out of that, man. Like, why you gotta go? I'm just concerned about the fact that he's going out of his way to, like, be an ass, for lack of better words, honestly.
So then,
Like,
would this be rephrased to you when you threw a Starburst at me this morning?
listen, I did that.
The receipts.
I did that because I didn't know if you had heard about the news story yet, and I wanted you to look it up. So when you responded, you were like, "Oh, thank you," and I was like, "He doesn't know."
You know what? That was some intern's job to go to the gas station and buy Starbucks.
Oh my god, Emily.
It's like, no.
But yeah, stay in your lane. Don't swerve out of your way to go and be an asshole.
But if you're turning right on red, do not stay. If you know you're gonna drive straight, do not stay in your lane. Switch lanes. Food for thought.
So my thing is, how do I explain this? When people have like a certain month, like Pride Month is this, do not go around going, where's the straight people month? I was like,
White History Month.
yeah,
Because
like,
every other month is White History Month.
guys, like, come on. I mean, nothing has gone against you in your life. You haven't been told you can't marry who you want to marry.
Unless it's your cousin.
Basically, in some parts of the country.
She went there.
There was that guy who was running for governor or something, or mayor or something, that was trying to legalize incest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is he still running?
I think so.
He's still running.
2018, people.
I think
Is
he's
he the
still
same guy who also wants to marry a 14-year-old?
Probably.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
my.
probably.
There's one that wants to marry a 14-year-old.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, not blood related or underage.
Yeah.
You have
No.
the rest of the year.
Yeah. Everything else is cool, but like, guys, like, I hate when people are like, Women's Month, like about, like women, like in October, and they're like, what about men? Well, let's look at all of the history books.
Okay, about breast cancer.
Laughs in
Yeah,
privilege.
breast cancer. Like, what about men's breast cancer? Men can get breast cancer. That's very true. They can, but we're gonna separate that.
I've never heard like a justified question that's been, wait, what about men? Like, realistically, when is that? Like, what?
Yes, yeah. So, guys,
What about men?
let's celebrate the end of Pride. Let's not like July is all gonna be for straight people, just like every other month is. So, let's skip that one over.
Alyssa?
No.
What are you gonna sound off on?
I'll have one next time.
My sound off is actually part of the reason why he is not on the panel. I just kind of am over Troyland's antics. So
Traylon happens to be sitting a good 10 yards away from us.
he may or may not be showing me a finger that's in the middle of his hand. But I'm just kidding. So Alyssa, it's your turn, and we are not turning off this episode till you sound off on something.
I just picked something off the board.
No.
Exposes!
Erase that board. Does nothing bother you?
Everything bothers me.
That's why you're having a hard time right now.
The most relatable thing I've heard.
Okay, here's something. Oh, I have something. Oh my
You
god.
could choose my other
Okay.
one.
This. How do I start this? I'm sorry.
Just let it out. Sound off.
I'm not a cosplayer, but I do enjoy looking at different cosplayers' art and how they make it and the end product, etc., etc. And promote cosplaying whatever you want. Doesn't matter the height, the human, not human, color, gender, do whatever. But don't put brown makeup on your skin if they're black. And if it's a black cosplayer, don't say that they can't be them because they're too dark. Especially if you scroll on your own Instagram feed and see that they played the same character. I'm just saying.
Oof.
Oh no.
I'm not going to be providing links or names, but you can just go on some websites and find it pretty easily.
But also, what's the app?
I actually,
I thought she was going to be like,
I called
We'll
out.
bleep it out.
I called out when I commented blackface ? And I got replies for 2 days straight. I got dragged on someone's Instagram stories by this
really?
cosplayer, and then he deleted all my comments. And I messaged him, I think, saying like, I just want to have a conversation about it.
I think I remember you talking about this in your story.
Yes.
Wait, what happened?
That's what happened. He screenshot my direct messages asking to talk, like have a serious conversation, just laughing at me. Apparently, I was racist towards him. I called him a Frenchie. First, I didn't know that was a derogatory term. I guess I just said it. But two, I didn't even know he was French. I just said blackface ? And he pulled all of these assumptions out of that sentence.
Oh, yikes.
That's all I'm gonna say. Don't do blackface. 2018, 2016. Just don't do it. And let people cosplay as whatever they want as long as they do it respectfully. This includes Halloween and all of the music festivals coming up. You know who I'm talking about.
So blackface is never okay.
Never okay.
Okay.
Unless it's just
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you could like, why can't they just cosplay as the character they like without having to put, you know, makeup on? Like, it makes no sense.
What made me the most mad is his cosplay was so good, except for the skin. Like he's a really good artist, and all of his cosplays were really well done, and that one was really well done. I just said like, hey, you crossed the line. You didn't toe the line. You crossed it, and then I got all of his fangirls and boys.
Ooh.
Even like
How many followers did they have?
like a couple thousand.
Oh,
Good
And
job.
they had other like black friends that were telling me like it's okay, and I'm like,
No, it's not.
just because one black person says okay,
it's okay to you.
yeah, that's
Wow.
fine. You got it out of me. I just remembered that happened because I saw something again like yesterday.
well, we will be providing his links in the post of this podcast.
Forget the word.
Did for a second. Thanks for calling me out.
And on that note, no, I'm joking.
All right, so thank you guys for listening. For more reporting, head to uaclthesignal.com, like us on Facebook, and send us any questions, comments, suggestions to signalsoundbites@uaclthesignal.com. Any final comments before we head out of here, guys?
Bye.
Wear sunscreen.
Stay great.
Yes.
That's important in summer.
Don't be low key sexist or racist.
Oh, they're gonna say,
Or high-key. Or
don't be
high-key
low-key.
either.
Or high key.
Don't be high key
Just
either.
don't be.
Just be a little nicer.
I thought that was a Marvel reference.
Subtle drag.
I don't feel so good, so we're signing off, guys.